Hi, everyone. Welcome to Season 1, Episode 5 of Process to Purpose. I'm your host, Maycha'al Ban Ya'osher'al. Thank you for joining.
Sipping on my coffee, feeling kinda slow. Staring out my window, watching people go. Lost in my thoughts, got nowhere to be. It's just me and my coffee, my only company. Inhale, exhale, breathe in the vibe. Run to the beat, feeling oh so alive. Sipping on my coffee, my only company. Oh, my coffee.
Yes. That is my beautiful, beautiful daughter with her album coming out, single, Sipping on My Coffee. It's actually titled Coffee. Yo, check her out, man, on YouTube. She has a YouTube channel called Z-Beep, and I just want to just continually encourage her to sing because she's an amazing singer. But check out our YouTube page. She's a gamer. She's just full of fun, and I just want y'all to just go over there and just check her out. All right, here's what I need you to do. Also, I need you to comment. In the comment, I need you to let her know that you heard it here on my podcast, Podbean Podcasts, Process to Purpose. I want to encourage her. And I want you guys to really encourage her to sing more because she's amazing. When I tell you amazing singer. So that's my daughter. Yes, I am biased, but trust me, I know what I'm talking about. Because guess what? I'm also a singer. My wife is also a singer and singer-songwriter, and I'm telling you, just pass down to her. So please check her out. And if you don't believe that we're a singer, you could check us out on YouTube. And we are on Amazon. We are on actually Spotify. We're on all these different platform. One of our only album, by the way, Channels of Blessings. You guys could go check that out, man, to see that we're singers. We do our thing. Or you can go on YouTube and look up Channels of Blessing Topic, and you'll hear, album. Just album I put out there. Not going down those road anymore, not going down that path anymore, but, I figure, I'll leave it out there. You never know the opportunity might open up. So check that out. But I want you to go and subscribe to my daughter's YouTube channel, Z-Beep. Not Beep Beep, the Roadrunner, but Z-Beep. Check her out, man. You're going to have fun there. All right. Thank you again for joining us. I am so happy that you are listening. We're a fairly new podcast, but let me tell you something, man. We're picking up some momentums. We got some downloads, and people are really looking and listening to the experience here from this podcast that I want to share with you. Process to Purpose, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know about you, but I'm just tired of people telling me what to do. I'm tired of people telling me what to do and how I should do it. As if to say I don't have a brain in my head, that I can't think for myself. And I think Process to Purpose is a platform, a podcast, which explore your inner thoughts. I want you to recognize that there is greatness in you. Les Brown preached this. If you don't know who Les Brown is, man, you got to check out his podcast, Les Brown, man. But you also can check him out on YouTube, man. He's a motivational speaker. There's greatness in you, ladies and gentlemen. There's greatness in you. There's greatness in every one of us. There's a purpose in us. Now, my job here is not to tell you what it is. It's how it is or why it is. My job is to give you the opportunity to explore those things. Because my goal here on this podcast, ladies and gentlemen, is that you think for yourself. I just want you to think for yourself. I just want you to know that you are given a God-given right, a God-given ability to think for yourself. And even if you don't believe in God, if you don't believe in the Creator God, you have a brain in your head and you can think for yourself. And I just want you to use that because there's something in you that is going to bring you to the point of your purpose, but you just need the right direction or guidance. And I'm hoping that Process to Purpose, I should rename it. Instead of saying process to purpose, I should rename this podcast to Your Process to Purpose, to Your Purpose. Your Process to Your Purpose. Because guess what? It's truly about you. And I want to take my experiences and just really share my experience with you. I want to have a conversation with you and just share my experiences with you so that you can know, hey man, listen, I've been through hills and valley. You know what I mean? There's an old Jamaican song that goes something like this. I have been to hills and valley. I survive out of the old gangster alley. Enough gunshot away me, skip away me dolly. When them think me dead back in the juggling me rally. Yes, yes, yes. If you didn't know, I am Jamaican. I was born in Jamaica. Yes, yes, and grew up there till I was about 17 years old. And then I came to the United States of America, which I now currently live. And pretty soon, ladies and gentlemen, I'll tell you, next month, I'll tell you some things are happening and some changes are being made to actually bring me to a fulfillment of my purpose. My purpose is not only what I know, but also what I'm discovering. You know, because there's more to your purpose than just any one thing or living in any one place. Sometimes you got to move. Sometimes you got to move. Sometimes you got to get new friends. Sometimes you got to get new partners. Sometimes you just got to get a new job. Sometimes you got to choose a new career. You never know where your process or your purpose is going to be, or where is it going to be revealed. So don't be afraid to take those chances. Yes, like Steve Harvey said, man, jump. I'm at the point where I'm jump, man. I'm not even falling anymore. I'm gliding. I have a friend that told me once, and Emmanuel O'Neill, actually not Emmanuel O'Neill, Emmanuel Champion. What am I doing here? Emmanuel Champion told me once, man, I love this brother. You got to check him out. He's coming out with a podcast very soon. Your Father's House. You guys gonna want to hear what this guy say. Talk about a dude that's been through a whole lot, man. Oh my gosh. You want to check him out. You want to hear what he has to say. Emmanuel Champion. But he said something to me that I never forget. I always say, man, when you're going through some things that, it just seems like your head above, underneath the water. There's another song by Barry Simon about that too. Head about under the water. And I always feel like, you I don't know if you felt like this before, but I always felt like this growing up. And even into my late 50s, I always felt like every time I try to raise my head above the water, there's an overnight scheme that worked out that's just keeping me down under the water. And I found myself fighting just to get up, to get air. And then next thing you know, I'm back down under the water. I don't know if you ever been through that time or been in that time, or maybe you're in that time right now where you feel like everything you do is just not coming to fruition. It's just not getting to the place where you want it to be. And you just feel like something or someone is holding you back. Well, let me tell you something. I lived a great deal of my life thinking that way. Like, no matter what I do, man, it's just come this far. Like, just the peak of the mountain. I could look over the mountain and I fall right back down. And Emmanuel said something to me that blows me away, ladies and gentlemen. And this is going to really set the tone for what I want to talk to you about, in this episode and this season. Emmanuel said to me, I never forget that, man, changed my life. He said, instead of trying to come up for air, why don't you learn how to swim? Why don't you just swim? I'm from Jamaica, man. I can swim. Not all Jamaicans can swim, but I'm one that can swim, right? And it hit me. It changed my life. It changed my life. And I have learned to say it is what it is. I've learned to say it is what it is. I stopped looking at my issues. I stopped looking at my problems because I own them now. I own all my issues. I own all my problems. And even if they're not started by me, even if it's totally somebody else's fault, I own my issues and I've owned my problem. And I've learned to say it is what it is, but it doesn't have to be what it is. You see? It is what it is, but it doesn't have to be what it is. And I've learned to own it. I just start swimming. I don't try to come up for air anymore. I just start to swim. And I'm telling you, man, it's nicer down here. It's nicer down here. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's nicer down here. And I start to swim. And my life has changed. I look at things differently. I look at problems differently. I look at issues differently now. I don't say why these things are happening to me, but I try to learn from them and I try to work through them. And one of the things that I can tell you that's going to bring you to your purpose is to understand that where you are may not be of your own choosing or your own doing. Like you weren't asked to born in certain family. You weren't asked to go to certain school or live in certain neighborhoods. You can't blame your surroundings. You have to now acknowledge that this is what it is. And you now have to say to yourself, but this is not how it have to be. All right. And so you have to set some things in motions to get you into that place of where you want to be. And ladies and gentlemen, here's the topic of our discussion today. Here's the topic of our podcast today. The topic of our podcast today is decision. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, decision. And I think I'm going to do a part 2 of this because I think this is very, very important. I think I'm going to do a part 2 of this decision. Let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. This changed my life because I didn't understand the power of decisions. But here's the most important things, because remember now, ladies and gentlemen, you got to take things personal. And when I say take things personal, I don't mean take things personal to your detriment, but take things personal to your advantage. The power of decision. Do you know, and you can Google this, that the average person, now I'm talking about the average person, whatever that is, the average person makes up to 35,000 decisions a day. I think you should take a pause. Get this. You Google it. The average person make up to 35,000 decisions a day. You never think about these things. You never thought about the decisions you make because why? You make them so subconsciously. You don't even know it when you get up in the morning out of bed and you go to the bathroom. That was a decision you make to get up. Then you do your thing. You brush your teeth. Then you make another decision to either go back and sit down, you check your phone, or you watch your TV, or you put on your clothes. Maybe you have to go to work. You have to make a decision on that to go to work. I mean, that's the 35,000 decisions. The power of decision. So here's what I have to offer you, and here's what I've learned. Because, ladies and gentlemen, your purpose is within you. And the decisions that you make can alter your life for your detriment or for your prosperity. The power of decision. Now, here's why it's so powerful. The power of your decision. Here's why. Check this. Get ready. I think you should write this down. Your decision, when you've made it, will create for you the invincible forces of the universe to aid you in that decision. You know who told me this? You know where I learned this from? An old real estate tycoon. I don't even know what happened to him today, if he's still alive. But his name is Carlton Sheet. My wife corrected me on his name the other day. We got into a little argument over that too. Because I was calling him Carlton Sheiks. That Jamaican in me. You know, sometimes if you know anything about Jamaicans, you know we add an S to everything, or an H to everything, or we take the S off things, or we shorten the word. It's part of our patois upbringing, the lingua. And don't get me wrong, not all Jamaicans speak like me. Some speak very raw patois. Some speak very good English, and some can turn it on and off. Well, for me, I'm kind of sort of like halfway down, halfway up. I'm in the middle somewhere. Maybe it's good English, maybe it's not. Maybe it's patois. Maybe it's just because my vocabulary is not all high. My wife is an excellent speaker when it comes to her language, English. She's amazing with the vocabularies. She used words I never hear. I'm like, what is that? What does that mean? You know, so so you can see the difference between the language barrier. Not really a barrier, but the difference between the analytical person versus the one who just jump in the fire. But yeah, man. So I guess what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen, the power of your decision. Carlton Sheeks taught me that. And I kind of knew this a little bit, you know, 'cause, you know, you grew up, when I was brought up a Christian, so there's a lot of things that I've learned, and a lot of things that you read about, you know, like, so a man thinketh, so is the man, and, you know, the power of the mind. And you start to read books, and you start to get ideas from other people who are successful, because here's the thing, they've been through they've been through a process, and they're telling you these processes, so you'll be kind of dumb or kind of, you know, ignorant to not listen to what someone who has gone down that road is sharing with you. So, you know, when you listen to these things, you say, wait, there must be something to it. But until you put it into practice, you will never know. Because, ladies and gentlemen, here's the thing. Knowledge is nothing more than information. That's why they say knowledge is power, right? And we're living in an age now that if you don't know, it's because you don't want to know. You can Google things, you can Siri things, you can, man. When I was growing up, man, to find the answer to a question, you would have to go to the library, ladies and gentlemen. You'd have to go to the library, you'd be there all day, sometimes 2-3 days, a whole weekend, just to find the answers you're looking for, because it's usually never in one book. It's always in about 5-6 different books. So you have to open to this chapter, and then this book send you to this book, and open that chapter, and then you look, and then you find the answers. Today, man, you can just say, Siri, Google, and you get the answer. And I'm saying that if you don't know, it's not because you're limited. If you don't know, it's because you don't want to know. So ignorance can be bliss, because people will have the information and totally ignore it. But decision, ladies and gentlemen, the power of decision. Like I was saying, knowledge is information. Gather the information. Now, understanding is to comprehend the information. So you get the knowledge, you get the information. Now you got to understand it. Work through it. Work through the kinks of it. Get it down so you can comprehend it. Because if you don't have the instructions, see, pardon me. So we're thinking that when you think about information, when you think about knowledge is to be comprehended, because knowledge are usually instructions. Knowledge is information to tell you the do's and the don'ts of life. All right. So having the right information is very, very important. Something you have to cross-check your information, because all the information are not good information. And not all the information are great knowledge. Not all information are worth even keeping. So you have to cross-reference the information to make sure that the information you're receiving is the correct one. Once you get that, you comprehend that. And once you comprehend it, ladies and gentlemen, now what do you need? You need the wisdom to carry out it. The wisdom to carry out the instructions. So you got the information, now you comprehend the information, and now you are doing the information. One of the biggest problems I see in this world and in life is that people have the information, they comprehend the information, but they don't have the wisdom to do it. And you know, so crazy too, especially with having knowledge, you don't have to be the one to do it. You can hire someone to do it. You can hire someone to help you through it. It's not like you go, oh, I gotta do it. I don't know how to do it. Are you making excuses? No. You know, there's a saying, if you want to do something right, you should do it yourself. That's a saying. I think that information is incorrect. If you want something done right, you need to hire a professional There's a difference because you can get it, you can think within yourself you're doing it right, but you have no idea. You don't have the information nor the instructions. You understand what I'm saying? So it doesn't necessarily mean that you are the one that's going to do it, but you can gather the people around you. If you look at some of the wealthiest people on the planet today, look at their team. Their team is what make them successful. They're a self-made millionaire. They're not self-made. They have a team of people around them in expert areas of the things they know nothing about. And they hire those people and build a team with those people, and that's how they maintain their success. So don't think that you have to do everything yourself. No man is an island. No man stand alone. You must understand this. And when you understand these simple little things, you put them into practice, you will bear fruit like you've never bared before. But it starts with a decision, and you make 35,000 of them every day. The question is that the decisions that you're making every day, is it just bringing you in a loop? You're just going around in a Ferris wheel. You know what I mean? You're doing the same things over and over. You eat the same foods. You wear the same clothes. You look at the same things on your downloads. You listen to the same music. Are you expounding on your horizon? You know what I mean? Are you driving the same place you go every time? How are you developing yourself so that your purpose will shoot to the top? How do you find your purpose? You have to find your inner joy, inner peace. You have to find that which you can do with your eyes closed. What gives you joy? What can you do without thought? What can you do subconsciously? What are you good at? That's what you got to find out. What are you good at? And are you exploring you? Are you exploring you? You know, how much time do you spend on yourself? How much time do you spend on yourselves? You know, us husbands, we go out and we work hard, and we're trying to maintain the house, and, we want to make sure the bills are paid and the food is bought for the family, clothes, the insurance are paid up. And we spend so much time going around this darn Ferris wheel that becomes our life for the next 30, 40 years, just to provide a roof. But do you know that you're more than just providing a roof over someone's head? You have a purpose that if you come to know your purpose, providing food and doing those ritual things will become nothing to you, because your purpose will sustain all of that. But right now, you're just going to work. You're going to work to provide. But your purpose can be your provider. Did you know that? But if you don't know it, then you won't work at it. My purpose here, ladies and gentlemen, is to get you to recognize your purpose and work at it. Are you reading the books to do the things you want to do? You know how many times people go to college? Matter of fact, I have two kids, two of my children that went to college. Three of my children went to college. And ladies and gentlemen, none of them are doing that which they went to college to do. Now, I'm not against college. Listen to me. I'm not against, go get the experience. I tell my children this, and I tell them this I have 7 beautiful children, 4 girls, 3 boys. You know what I tell them all their life growing up? I don't send you to school to get an education. This is what I tell my children growing up. Because see, I never went to college. I finished 12 grades of high school, but I never went to college. And not because I didn't go to college means that I don't want them to go to college. Yeah, I want them to go to college. Go to college, do your thing, live your life. But I'm not sending you to school so that you can get an education. You know why, ladies and gentlemen? Because information is all around you. Like I'm not sending you to music class so you can learn music, because music is all around you. Listen to it. I'm going to beat my chest. Music is all around you. You can pull it out the ear. Education is all around you. When you're in the schools, you're in a box and you're learned to give only one answer to that, or only one right answer to that question. But when you're in the world around you, you find many ways to get to that answers, and you can explore options. So I'm not sending you to school. I'm not sending you to college to get an education. I'm sending you to school. I'm sending you to college so that you will learn how the world works. What a life change. I wish I knew that when I was going to school. Because how many people with college degrees are working at McDonald's today? Master's degree that working with McDonald's, they can't find a job. Because they went to school and they think studying and having this degree is what's going to guarantee them work. And they don't understand that's not what guarantee you work. Because you can have all the degrees, but you don't have the right personality. You know what I'm saying? Your personality might not be matching for this position. I can't tell you how many times I've heard people said, I went to go get the job and the boss told me that I'm overqualified. Now, what the hell does that mean? Overqualified. Can somebody be overqualified for a job? That don't make sense to me. But that is what's being said. So I'm not sending my children to school so they can get education. I'm sending them to school so they can learn how the world works. This is how the world is programmed to work. If you understand it, that you're going to have some bosses that you don't like, just like you're going to have some teachers you don't like. You're going to have some teachers that have it out for you. You're going to have some bosses that have it out for you. You're going to have people you have to deal with. You're going to have the culture you have to deal with. All these things you're dealing with in school is what you're going to deal with in the world. You're being prepared for what you're going to do next. I always believe that life prepares you in advance for what you're going to do. And that's why purpose is so important, because if you learn your purpose, then you're at the helm. You're at the helm of your life's enjoyment. How many people have jobs and making good money and can pay all the bills, but they're not happy because their purpose is being hidden from them? Ladies and gentlemen, I was one, had jobs, and I always had great jobs, paying me great money. But I just knew that it was temporary. I always knew it was temporary. And now I tell you, man, owning my own business and doing my own thing and making the decisions that I make and having pretty much everything I've ever set my heart out to gain, because I believe in the higher power. I believe in a higher power that I can speak with, and that created me, that I believe created me. Now, this is my belief system, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not saying you got to go down this road. I'm just telling you what I'm giving you, my experience. I have belief. I believe in the creator who created me, and I believe in myself. And I believe that he put me here for a purpose. And I know I had a purpose. I just got to figure out what it is. And I figure out my purpose. You know what my purpose is? My purpose is to restore truth to the believer. That is my purpose. I learned this. I'm learning. I love people, man. I love people. I really do. I care about people. The other day, my wife and I, we lived in New York for over 20 plus years. My wife was born in New York, and pretty much all my children was born in New York, except for one. And they never been over the Brooklyn Bridge. And I'm like, wow. And there's a lot of places we've never been to living in New York, believe it or not. And I said, okay, you know what? Let's go walk over the Brooklyn Bridge. So we went over the Brooklyn Bridge and, we videotaped the whole process. You could go on my Facebook page at Maycha'al, and you can check that out, man. It's amazing. I put up something there, and I'm going to see if I could put it up here, too. You guys can probably see it on my podcast. Process to Purpose will be also a video podcast, but I'm waiting for sometime next month to come out with that. So I will keep you guys posted on when that's going to come out, the Process to Purpose video podcast. I'm going to be recording and video recording as I do it. So it will stream on 4 different platforms. It's going to be streamed on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. So these are the 4 platforms by which I do have, I do reach out to the public. And I do this, ladies and gentlemen, because I'm fulfilling my purpose every day. And I'm telling you how it set me free and how I feel just so at ease, man, to be able to know that I'm walking in my purpose. And if I can feel this great and feel this wonder and this joy, I would like everyone to share in that. I would like people to get to that place where they are feeling it and enjoying their purpose and identifying it, because all the invincible forces in the universe is created to actually aid you in your choices. And so this is important, ladies and gentlemen. This is important. This is very, very important. Now I'm trying to keep my podcast within 35 minutes, right? So I don't want to spend too much time. I don't want to bore you. All right. I don't want to bore you. I want to give you information that's going to help you to be successful and have that inner peace of happiness. Because you know what? When it comes to the decision, right? When it comes to decision, I've learned the power of it. I've learned the power of it, and it set me free. Let me give you some areas in which I am set free, and I'm hoping you will be set free as well. Did you know that love is a decision? I wonder how many of you knew that. It's not an emotion and it's not a feeling. But here's the thing. Love is wrapped up in feelings and it's wrapped up in emotion. But love is not emotions, nor is it a feeling. Y'all hearing me? Just like, here's a big one. Happiness. You know, sometimes, your husband might take you out and buy your diamond ring and you're happy, or your birthday, you get gifts, or, things that make you happy. But those things are like the weather. When you're cold, you put on extra clothes because you want to keep your body warm. And when you're hot, you take off those extra clothes. That is what happiness is like. Happiness, in the American culture, you pursue happiness. Let me tell you something. That's why you'll never find it. Because you're pursuing it. The pursuit of happiness. You will never find it. Anything you pursue, you don't have. If you're pursuing something, you don't have it. You're running it. That means it's always ahead of you. No, ladies and gentlemen. Happiness is not to be pursued. Happiness is to be obtained. And it's obtained by a decision. You got to make a decision to be happy. I tell you, when I found these simple things out, man, it changed my life. I don't need my wife to make me happy. I don't need my children to make me happy. I don't need a job to make me happy. I don't need a car, a house, money in the bank to make me happy. Those are chasing in the wind. Because there's no amount of money that's going to make you happy. It's actually going to make you miserable. The more money you have, the more issues you have. What makes you happy is your choice. You made a choice to be happy. I can be happy with little. I can be happy with less. I can be happy with more. I can choose to be happy in this moment. Right now, I'm very happy in this moment. I have made a choice. I made a decision. And the invincible forces in the universe are aiding me in that decision. You understand me? Because happiness is a choice. Once I understood that, man, oh my goodness, my happiness doesn't reflect on the things around me, but my happiness reflects on me, the things in me. Whoa, changed my life. When I realized that love is a choice, then I don't have to look for my wife to do certain things to make me happy. I don't have to look for my daughter or my job, my boss, or anybody to do certain things. I have I have chosen to give my wife my love and affection. It's not consist on her. Now, don't get me wrong, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not saying if my wife do some crazy things that I probably won't be happy with her decision. What I'm saying is that, her decision and the things she does not influence my happiness. I've chosen to be happy. And even if it comes to a point where we go our separate ways, where if she decided, I don't want to be married to you anymore, for whatever the reason is, yes, will I be sad? Of course, because I love the woman with all my heart. But I cannot hold her or force her to be my wife. She have to choose that. She have to maintain that decision, that contract by her choice daily. That's hers. That's not me. And yes, I'm going to do my part to make sure she's in a position where she wants to keep this going. You understand what I'm saying? We all have to do our part. But the decision making is ours to make. It changed my life, man. It changed my life, y'all. And let me tell you something. I want to change your life too. And it will change your life. Just apply this simplicity to your understanding of what's going to happen. Decision, the power of your decisions. As I close right now, I end this episode, and I'm going to do an episode 2 because I think this is really, really amazing. I'm going to do a part 2 of this one. As I end this episode, I want you to understand that your decision is based in your subconscious mind. It's also in your cognitive mind. But I want you to understand your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind is so fertile. It doesn't know good and evil. It doesn't know the difference between good and evil. All it knows is that whatever you plant in it, it's going to make it grow. Because you create. Remember, I tell you, the invincible forces of the universe aids you in your decision. That's why when you make a decision to do something, you ever notice that the world around you is aiding that decision? When you hang out with bad company, what's going on around you? Think about it. Just think about it. I just want you to just take a time and think about it. When you go to a party and you know you're going to a party and you make the decision to go to that party, when you get to that party, what is happening around you? Your decision to go creates the atmosphere around you. Your subconscious mind do the same thing. Because you were born to be great. Greatness is in you. You can speak to yourself and you can make some decisions to change your life, to find your purpose and walk in it. And let no one steal your dreams. Because no one can take them from you. You can relinquish them. Make a decision today to find your inner peace, your happiness. Listen to me. Your talents. Because, ladies and gentlemen, your talents can be either multiplied or they can be taken away. What will it be for you? What will it be for you? And that starts with a decision, my friends. I love you guys, man. I love you guys a lot. Thank you for joining my podcast. I'm definitely going to have a part 2. We're definitely going to do this again because there's a lot more I have to say. And I'm going to get right into it. All right? Thank you very much. I'm Maycha'al, and this is Process to Purpose.
Feeling kinda slow. Staring out my window, watching people go. Lost in my thoughts, don't know where to be. It's just me and my coffee, my only company. Inhale, exhale, breathe in the vibe. Run to the beat, feeling oh so alive. Sipping on my coffee, my only company. Oh, my coffee.